King Charles III is reportedly eager to make his way to New Zealand at some stage. That's according to Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who has had her first audience with the new King since arriving in London ahead of Monday's state funeral for Queen Elizabeth II. Now, Ardern, speaking with New Zealand media along the Mail in a glorious afternoon in London, said the meeting was warm between the pair, and they spoke briefly about New Zealand and the Commonwealth. It lasted about 10 minutes. She also said, without giving too much detail, that it was her expectation that it would be likely that King Charles would make his way around the Commonwealth countries at some stage, obviously very early in that process still. Also, Ardern was able to meet with Britain's new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, where the conversation was largely dominated by the Queen's passing, but also made reference to the war in Ukraine and the free trade agreement that was recently signed between the two domains. Now, tomorrow, Ardern will have another opportunity to meet with the new King. However, it will be more brief and less private, as it's at a function with other world leaders where she's likely to reconnect with a number of leaders who she hasn't met with in person for quite some time, considering the COVID restrictions that have been placed around travel. But it will be a good opportunity for her to reconnect and make those acquaintances with leaders that she hasn't seen in a long time. Now, meanwhile, as you can see behind me in Green Park, the floral tributes for the late Queen are continuing to grow. Pretty much anything you can think of, it's here. Obviously lots of flowers, posters, signs, frames, balloons, it's all here. And considering that there are a number of people still walking the streets with flowers and other tribute material, it's not expected that these tributes will decrease anytime soon. And also with the queue is still growing. At the latest update at about 9 o'clock UK time on Saturday, it had reached about 13 hours or 14 hours in some cases. And with the queue expected to close at around 6 o'clock on Monday ahead of the funeral at 11 AM, I'm sure there'll be a number of people who are winging their way to London to make sure that they get their chance to view the Queen's coffin lying in state ahead of the funeral.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald. Click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.